get 'em. Why we do it? Why we do it?
I do it for the turn up.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Leech, and I'm back with another video. It's been a good minute since I made a video. A lot of stuff happened, and I just kind of got lazy with making videos. But yeah, I just wanted to make this quick video on school again, and it's something that has been really on me or on my mind lately, and something that I wanted to share, especially with anyone who is just going into college or is in college. And since I just got out, I just wanted to share some of those things that I have learned personally going through school and then going into the job search and then finding and God blessing me with a job and all that stuff. So I just wanted to share some of the things that I've learned through that process. And this part of it was actually brought up because I was watching a video from my dude Great Disciple. If you don't know who he is, go check him out. He has really great content. I don't always agree with him, but he has some really good stuff. He speaks about a lot of different topics, and he's got some really good stuff. But anyway, this one, he was talking about college because he does a video series called Gray's Mail, and somebody asked him if college was important, and he put it in two different perspectives of if you're trying to be a certain type of person, it's not important, versus if you're trying to be another type of person, it is important. But which is true for the most part, but I would say like the only little tweak I'll add in there is you always need a backup plan. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you're making different plans for different things, just to make sure that you have, if something happens, you have a contingency in place. But that's not really what this video is about. This video is going to focus on the statement he made, which was grades are not important in college for getting a job. To me, that is an asinine statement and is slightly ridiculous, basically based on the premise that as long as you go to college, you're good, and that is no longer the world that we live in. At one point, that may have been true, but that statement no longer is important. And I got into a little bit of a thing with somebody in the comments. I won't say an argument, we're just saying our different points. And he was saying that it doesn't matter what your GPA is. There's never been a job interview where they've asked him about, oh, your GPA and all this. And to that, I will say, yeah, I mean, in an interview, it's no longer about your grades. It's now about you as a person being interactive with the other people and showing what you've done. But before you can get to the interview room, you have to show something and present something about yourself to an employer to look at and say, oh, I would like for this person to come sit down and maybe get a job with me. And that's what I'm really going to focus on, is your resume that you make in college sticks with you when you're trying to get a job. I'm not saying grades are not the most important things, but they play a very important role in everything when you're trying to do other things. So for example, if you're somebody who's in college right now and you're looking for a job and you have a, let's say, a 3.0 GPA, that looks better versus somebody who coming out and has a, let's say, 2.0 GPA. Automatically, you're already seeing better. And the other thing of it that I've seen is, so let's say you go to a career fair or something, which I went to multiple career fairs. The first thing that they separate you out by is, okay, what's your GPA? Those who have a 3.0 GPA automatically are shown the door and say, okay, you get early access. And you know, we in the video game world, we're all about that early access. And even in the job world, it's so much more important, because one thing I've learned is the earlier you are in like people seeing you, the more likely you are to get a job. So if you already have that nick of the door to get into it, if you have that GPA to push you above the top a little bit, that'll automatically set you apart. Now, I'm not saying it's the most important thing, because along with your GPA, you have to be doing other things like volunteering. For some industries, you have to have internships, co-ops. So those things play a role as well, because those show the experience that you have and how you relate to people and how you work well with people and stuff like that. It shows who you are. But your grade matters. A lot of people just think, well, I'm in school, it doesn't matter what GPA I end up with. It really does matter, because at the end of the day, depending on how you turn up and how you finish out, that will determine where you will be, whether you will be where you want to be or whether you'll be elsewhere doing something that you don't want to be doing. And so to say that grades don't matter at all is completely asinine to me. Grades matter a little bit. And one thing I will add to this is, and this is going to offend some people, and some people are going to watch this video and be like, what? If you are an African American dude in America, grades and doing extra matter that much more. And some people might go, what? No, we're leaving it. No. The fact is, for me, what I have seen is, as an African American male, if you are not doing extra, if you're not standing above the rest in an extra type of way to get the same opportunity, you're just falling behind. You have to do more. As an African American man in the United States, for as much as we have found equality in different areas, there's still those things where you have to do extra, where to get the opportunities of what you want to do, you have to separate yourself. So for you, grades matter that much more. I'm not saying it doesn't matter for your white friends, but for the African American male, because of where I have come from what I have seen, grades matter that much more. And you have to do extra. You have to do so much more on just make sure that you have like a great GPA. I know that for me, like engineering, I had to one thing I did internships, I did co-ops and all that, but I couldn't let my grade drop below a certain point, because for me to get the extra opportunities that some of my friends were getting without the grades that I had, and this is why I say this, because I knew the grades I had and I knew the grades that some of my friends had versus the opportunities I was getting versus what they were getting, and it brought it to the forefront. And that's why I'm saying this. People might look at it and be like, oh, he's just race baiting or putting race into it, but it's something that you have to realize. If you're a black or an African American dude, make sure that you are doing extra, whether that be volunteering, whether it be internships, but at the same time making sure your grades are staying above those of those around you. And it's even so much more important if you're an international student, which is another part of it. If you're an international student in the United States, your grades have to reflect that so much more, because automatically you're already put at a disadvantage, because you can't get some of the opportunities for internships just because people would not ask you to come do an internship because you're an international. And in order to do internships, you have to have a certain type of visa and all this stuff, and as a student you can't get those. It's important for me to say this for those people who are like me, who are black, who are African American, who are from other nations, and who have to go through these things. And this is just for a little bit of advice for those who are going through that. Anyway, talked a lot in this video. Well, not a lot, but I'm rambling now, so I'll just say God bless y'all. Peace.